Greetings. My name is Nish Kumar, and I'm a comedian and former kissing partner to over 3 women. I often talk about politics on stage, which means the last few weeks have been absolutely fascinating. We are living through a political upheaval, the like of which has not been seen for generations. This truly is a historic time. And I should know, I've got half a history degree, and I once saw Simon Sharma eating a Twix on a bus. Come to think of it, it might have just been someone who looked like Simon Sharma, but it was definitely a Twix. Doing political comedy is often a tricky beast. It often involves preaching to the converted. A lot of the time I get on stage and I say, hey, I think these things, and the audience just goes, we agree, and we all go home and think, how did we lose that election? Luckily, I'm doing this video for the Guardian website, so I'm hoping to expand my audience of well-meaning liberals to well-meaning liberals who also own computers. But this is a particularly tricky time to be doing comedy about politics. Firstly, the situation is changing minute by minute. Given the events of the last few weeks, it's perfectly possible that by the time you finish watching this video, every single member of parliament will have quit, the House of Commons will now be luxury flats, and the country will be run as a military-style junta by Adele and that dude in the shorts from the Money Supermarket adverts. In fact, why don't you pause this video right now just to make sure that that hasn't happened? Okay. Phew. The other reason that this is a tricky time is because of the absolute armada of arseholes that are currently running British politics at the moment. Whether it's Farage and Johnson instigating the referendum and then quitting at a speed that suggests that if they'd been on the Titanic, they'd have elbowed women and children out of the way to make the first lifeboat, or whatever the fuck this is. On the other side of the bench, the Labour Party seem to have looked at the chaos in the Conservative Party and seen it as a challenge. It's like, you call that political disarray? I'll see you and raise you a botched coup that involves our deputy leader having to field messages on his way back from Glastonbury. So, how as a satirist can you hurt politicians when we've moved beyond truth and facts? How can you hold them to account when the very concept of accountability seems meaningless? The answer is, you can't. And if you can't beat them, join them. So, ladies and gentlemen, please come and see my new touring show at the Edinburgh Festival and on a national tour afterwards. And if you come, I guarantee you will lose weight, grow taller, and jump up 70 IQ points. But don't take my word for it, here's some recommendations. Boris Johnson said, the reason I left frontline politics is so I could attend every single one of Nish Kumar's comedy shows. Nigel Farage said, he's so funny, I wanted to repatriate him and his entire family. Did these people say any of these things? Of course they didn't, but who cares? Let's not get bogged down in facts like a bunch of absolute squares. I think we can all agree that my show is going to be the greatest show of all time by the greatest comedian of all time. And if you've got a problem with any of the lies that I've told, ask yourself this: why are you holding a stand-up comedian to a higher standard than we do to our political leaders?
Thou nature art my goddess, to thy law my services are bound.